Welcome to the vlog.
Okay, so I added them all up and I got 75. And then what do I do?
Divided by how many numbers there are.
Divide by how many there are. 14?
Yeah.
Okay.
5, 3, 7,
5.4.
Yeah, 5.
4. Yeah, or 3, 6.
5.36. We'll say rounded 2 decimals. Okay. The middle. Now, if we're doing the median and we're finding the middle number, what's important that we do before we find that? Yes.
Put them in order.
Put them in order. Okay. So looks like we have 1, 2,
3,
a 3,
4,
4, 4, 4, and 4 fours. Not 4 fours.
There's no.
Oh wait, were there 2 threes? Or no, just 1 3. 2 6.
I think there's 2 7s.
2 sevens.
1 8, 1 9,
There were 4 fours. 3 fours. There
4
were
4
4
fours.
fours.
Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. Okay, we have 14 numbers. Now, to find the middle, we just cross them out. So, yep, that's where we have 2 now. Okay, 4 and 6 are in the middle. Halfway between those is 5. Okay, or you could say 4 plus 6 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, now the most is the number that happens most often. What happens most often? 4. Okay, 4 happens 4 times. Okay, and that's the most. Okay, hopefully that's a good refresher on those. A percentile. Okay, a percentile tells you the section. No. How do I want to say this?
Or if I just wrote that.
I had such good wording in my notes. Let me look it up because I want it to be perfect for you.
You know that, did you ever look up people in your website and be like, oh, she's fat? And be like, you know, I'll just look it up.
Alright, the percentile is, it tells you the value, please stop talking, it tells you the value in the data set that marks a certain percentage through the data. Now, if we're talking about a percentile, okay, we have the first quartile. Have you guys heard of this before?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the first quartile, which is the 25th percentile. Have you ever heard of like a mom and dad saying like, oh, you know, like little Grace is in the 75th percentile for weight? Have you heard of that before?
Heard of it.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Okay, so I have a baby niece. She's 3 months yesterday. She's precious, and she was in the 98th percentile for height.
Is that good?
Meaning, yes. So meaning that she is, she's very tall. She's in the 98th percentile, meaning I'm trying to say it the right way. So 98% of her peers are shorter than her.
That's fun.
Yeah, so pretty crazy. Okay, so 25% of the data falls. Okay, so now if we're talking about 25th percentile, 25% of the data falls at or below this value. Whatever value that is, whatever data we're talking about, if it's the 25th percentile, 25% of the data falls at or below that value. The second quartile, quartile 2, is the 50th percentile. It's the median. Okay, it's the median, yes.
Can you mean like percentile can be like a decimal? So maybe like the 25 percentile.
Yeah, you could have that, but typically people stay at like the 25, like 25, 50, 25. But yeah, but like the 98, sometimes they'll stay at that. And sometimes they'll have. Yeah, for now. For now. You know, you'll get to
2% of your peers are shorter.
All right, and then we have the 75th percentile, okay, which means that 75% of data falls at or below that value.
I'm 75th percentile.
Okay, so if we have data, which I already put in order for you, I'm going to show you how to find the quartiles, okay? So if we're looking here, we always find quartile 2 first. Quartile 2 is the median, okay? You already know how to find the median. It's your middle number. So we're going to go ahead and find the middle number. Okay, so there's 20 numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay, so these two numbers, we would take the middle of those, okay, and we would get 8. So quartile 2 is 8. Now, what I do is I always mark those and leave those, okay, because that's going to help you find quartile 1. So with quartile 1, we start here. Okay, I'm going to draw this big line here. We start here, and we basically find the middle of that first half. I like to cross them off. I think it's easier.
7.5.
Yep, 7.5. Okay, and if I didn't make it clear, you use, like if we have these two middle 8s here, you use the one that's on the side that you're using. So like I used that 8 over here. Here I'm going to use this 8.
Okay, that's what I do.
Okay. Okay, what's our quartile 3?
8.5.
8.5. Because you would do 8 plus 9, divide by 2, or you think what's halfway between 8 and 9.
I just feel pretty smart.
You want to try the next one on your own?
No.
Yeah.
One number.
So if it's one number, that's just your median. Okay, you getting 7?
Yeah.
Okay, now which 7 is it?
This middle 7.
It's the very middle 7. Yep, that's your median. Okay, then don't worry about that 7. Don't worry about that 7 to find the rest.
You don't?
Nope.
I hope I still did it right. No?
Okay, I still did it right, but now you
Yeah, I got it right.
I still got
Okay,
it.
anybody having issues? Okay, so
I got it.
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about these two different types because something happened here. On this one, we had 2 middle numbers. Okay? And then when we found the other quartiles, we used those numbers. Over here, we have 1 number. When that happens, you don't use that number, and you just use the ones on the side of it for the other 2. Yes?
Yep.
Okay, so if you have 2, you use them. If you have 1, disregard it. Yes? Okay. All right, so let's talk 5-number summary. Okay? This is normal, okay, for a set of data. So if I ask you to find a 5-number summary, first you're going to find the minimum. What's the minimum?
The smallest.
The smallest number in the data set. Okay, that must mean that the maximum is what?
The largest.
The largest number. Okay, what was quartile 1 or Q1? What percentile? 25th percentile. Okay, what was quartile 2? It was the median, which is the 50th percentile. And quartile 3? 75th percentile. Okay, questions? All right, so it says calculate the 5-number summary for the following data set. Is it in order?
No.
No, that has to happen first. So first we're going to put it in order. 0, 1, 2,
0, 1, 2, 4, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. You all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, we have them in order. Okay, what is our minimum?
0.
0. Okay, and the minimum number, we don't really have a word problem here. Typically, these are going to be word problems. But here, 0, okay, means that 0 is the smallest number. Okay, max of 15, okay, 15 is the highest number. All right, let's find, what do we always find first?
The median.
Quartile 2. Okay, so you're going to find quartile 2. Now, I like to do it like this so I don't have to mark them off. You just go here and you just cover them up. Makes it a little bit easier. Okay, what's the middle? 6. Okay, now, this is where we have not done anything yet with the explanation on quartile. We know that that's 50% or 50th percentile, right? Okay, here's what it means. 50% of the numbers are 6 or below. Okay, or you could say are 6 or smaller, or are less than, or whatever. Yeah, just say 6 or below, or 6 or smaller.
You don't say higher though.
No, we'll never do higher. It's always small.
Oh.
Okay, quartile 1. So now, I forget how we.
It was the middle school.
It was this one. So we crossed that one out. So then we're here. Boom, boom. Yep, 2. Okay, what does that mean?
25% of the numbers are 2.
Yep, 25% of the numbers are 2 or below. You could say or 2 or less. Okay, quartile 3 is 9, yes?
Yes.
Okay, and what does that mean? 75% of the numbers are 9 or below.
This is fun. How's your day been so far?
Okay.
Okay.
It's kind of a rough one. I don't know why. It's like one of those like technology. Everything's just like boom.
I had a rough one.
But
You know,
it started really good. But you know what?
I bet everyone
So what we did in my first 2 period classes is have you guys ever heard of Doritos roulette? Okay, so Doritos makes a bag of chips that is pretty much all of the nacho flavor, but there's a certain percentage in there that are Tabasco, so that they're really hot. What? And so it's a probability, this whole probability thing. And so I bought them bags of Doritos that we did went around and like everybody got to like eat a Dorito and tell me like was it hot or not, and then we found percentages. We gotta keep going. We're not gonna get this done, guys. But
Can you teach us probability one day?
Yeah.
This is
This is
probability.
Really?
Yeah, stats. We're gonna do stats.
find it in media.
Okay,
Yeah.
So the range, does anybody know what the range is?
Highest minus the lowest.
Highest minus the lowest. Okay, now we can say highest minus lowest, but it's actually the max minus the min, right? Because we already find those numbers. We're used to finding the max and the min now. So once we have those, we can do the range. So if we do the range of these numbers, what would it be?
15 minus 0.
15 minus 0. Which is 15. Okay, the IQR stands for the interquartile range. Interquartile range. INTER, quartile, QUARTILE. Okay, so, and it says, and it's the distance between the first and the third quartile. So, it's kind of like the range. If you do max minus min, here you do Q3 minus Q1. Okay, so if we do the data set above, what's quartile 3? 9, right? 9 minus 2.
What was that last?
Don't bully.
Me? I looked it up because it was just like
We're almost there.
Oh, really?
We're close.
Okay, the outliers. Okay, now, some people may not be learning outliers. So if you have other Algebra 1 friends, some of us are teaching outliers, some of us are not. I think you guys can handle it. Okay, so the outliers are basically numbers that don't fit the data set. Like if we're looking at a data set, we talked about it, right? When we did the scatter plots, yeah, okay. So it's the data set that doesn't really necessarily fit everything else, okay? And we can find those based on our quartiles.
Oh god.
So right here it says the lower boundary, okay? The lower boundary is right here, okay? It's quarter 1 minus 1.5 times the interquartile range. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's quartile 1. What was quartile 1? 2 minus 1.5 times the IQR. What's the IQR? Did we find it? Right here, 7. Okay, so you put that in your calculator. I'm getting negative 8.5. Now, here's how we tell if there's an outlier. Is there any data below negative 8.5?
No.
Oh, sorry, that should not have been there. Okay, no, there's no data in our data set. If we go back to our data set, there's no data below negative 8.5. So that means there's no lower outlier.
Wait, do you mean positive or negative? Okay.
Did we get negative 8.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, negative.
It's like, you pointed at the 8.
Okay, upper boundary. The upper boundary is found here. Quartile 3 plus 1.5 times IQR. What was quartile 3?
9.
9. Okay. Plus 1.5 times 7.
Once we get that. So there's nothing below 19.5. I mean, there's anything above.
Okay. Is there any numbers in our data set above 19.5? Gosh darn it.
I said there's no.
Can you tell I didn't make these notes? Whew.
So there is not.
There's not, right? So there's none. There's no upper outlier.
So there is no outlier.
So there's none at all in this data set. They're all pretty normal points.
I did it.
All right, we're going to do a whole practice problem, okay? So if you look, okay, we have a data set. Are they in order?
No.
No. Let's go ahead and put them in order.
What about it? 12, 16, 24,
Oops.
24, 28, 30, 35, 58.
Get them all.
Are we gonna have to do this on the test?
Yes.
Uh,
Okay, what's our minimum? What's our maximum?
58.
Okay, what do we always find first?
Middle.
Quartile 2.
26.
All right, so 24 to 28 is our middle. What's halfway between those?
26.
26. So quartile 2 is 26. Okay, now this is where we have both numbers, so you have to use and split it in half. You use both to find the next. So here, what's halfway between 16 and 24? 20.
Oh, I'm smart.
Okay, and what is halfway in between
30 and 35.
30 and 35?
Would that be 32?
32.5. Okay, any issues or questions finding those? We will in a second. Okay, so let's look at what we're actually doing, because we didn't even read the problem. We just jumped right into it. Miss Aldrich records the number of cookies she bakes each weekend. The data for 8 weekends is listed below. Find the 5 number summary. Okay, so what does 12 mean in context of the problem?
Oh, this is the least amount of cookies she made.
That's the smallest amount of cookies she baked in 1 weekend.
Okay, so write in comments.
I need to make this smaller. Just a little bit. Okay, what does 20 mean?
25 the most
What does it mean?
the most cookies she made.
25%.
25% of the cookies are 20.
Okay, so 25% of the number of cookies that she baked are at or below 20. I don't want to move. Okay, now, what's our next one?
50% of the number of cookies she baked are at or below 26.
Yep, 50% of the number of cookies she baked are at or below 26.
We need to copy and paste like that.
I know.
And they need to figure that out or make that for paper. See how many times I do that?
Okay, so then 32.5, 75% of the number of cookies she baked are at or below 32.5.
You know, she baked 32 and a half cookies because I ate half of them.
Okay, and then 58 is the largest number of cookies that she baked. Yeah, what's your question?
Can there be 32.5 cookies?
No. It's just the data.
Think about it.
Could
I mean, the cookie in half.
like I would only.
I just said that I ate
the batter.
Maybe you don't have enough batter, so you can only make it half.
There you go.
Cookies are the end of
All right, what is the average number of cookies that she baked each weekend? So average is another word for what?
I mean,
Mean. It's another word for mean. How do we find the mean?
You add them.
We add them all up and divide by the number of weekends. And we know that the weekends was 8. We just have to find the total. I want you to go ahead and find the total. Add all of those numbers up.
20.375. I don't know if you round that down.
I got 227. Divide by 8, you get 28.375. Okay, now it says interpret your results. So if you want to interpret the results,
On average, 28 cookies a day. Or a weekend.
yep, on average, Miss Aldrich baked 28.375 cookies each weekend.
You should make some for me. That's what I said.
What's the mode?
24.
What does it mean? What's the mode
The
mean?
number that appears the most.
Yes, the one that appears the most, which is 24. So that means, did it happen 2 times?
Yes.
So when it says interpret the results, during 2 weekends she baked 24 cookies. Or you could say she baked 2 dozen, right? Because definitely 24 is 2 dozen.
I tried to do all this stuff for my comment. It would sweat like that every single time.
Okay, any questions on that? All right, let's do our IQR. What was quartile 3?
32.5.
32.5. Minus quartile 1, which was 20.
No, it's right.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, and we get, what, 12.5?
Yep.
Okay, so our IQR is 12.5. All right, our lower boundary, what was quartile 1? 20? Okay, minus 1.5 times our IQR of 12.5. And I'm getting 1.25.
Yeah.
You getting 1.25? Okay. Is there any number in our data set lower than 1.25?
No.
Are there any data points lower than this value? No. So there's no lower outlier. Okay. Our upper boundary, what was quartile 3?
35.
Okay. Okay. Are there any numbers bigger than 51.25?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, which one's bigger? 58. Okay, this is our upper outlier.
Good job, guys.
All right, the next practice is on your own.
Is it homework if you don't finish?
You have 4 minutes.
I don't have
Yes, we're going to go over it tomorrow to get that one done.
My phone's at less than 80.
It'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less than 8 or